What's going on, YouTubers? This is Larry at TJRSim, and we are looking at the Fanatec Clubsport V3s. Yes, I teased before about first look at the V3s, which was only explaining some of the features of the V3s in the videos, or in that one particular video. But now I actually have them in front of me, and they are gorgeous. Love it. Very pretty. See, I got some D-shaped pedals on here and the regular machine face throttle pedal, because I think it's going to be easier to do some heel toe action with the more of a face on the throttle than having this smaller face over here. So you can imagine, to do a heel toe, I'm really going to have to, if you like doing heel toe, you're really going to have to take a reach over there to hit it. You know, obviously right here. But yeah, imagine it. Just imagine it, okay? So it's going to be harder to do. What I find when I'm heel toeing is, yeah, I'm pushing on the brake here, but I'm hitting somewhere around here. Anyway, so yeah, I'm not sure this is going to work very good for heel toes, but if you don't do heel toeing, this is another option for you. The great thing about these pedals is there's so many options here. You got, let's just look at these. You know what, first let's just talk about what all comes in the box, okay? You get the metal faces that come with it, right? Now I took them already off. Obviously these two off here. I'll set those aside. And you get, it comes with the red springs installed. These are the softer springs. And you get 4 of these spring guides with it. And they are different size. You know, check out some of my other videos of how to change out the throttle spring and the clutch spring for the heavier duty one. And you'll see the spring guides are actually bigger. Spring coils are bigger. I'll spin it around here in a second and show you. But just going through the parts list, that's what you get. You get 2 extra springs. These red ones are normally came with it. I'll set those aside here. Alright, lithium grease, so when you clean everything up, and you got an extra set of 6 these M6 screws in here. I'm not going to take them out of the bag. What these are actually used for, you know, when I first looked at them, I'm like, what the heck do I need these screws for? They gave me extra screws. But what it's for is so you can screw this one down to here. That's all it's for. So there you go. If you want to use the pedal extenders, so to speak, you know, they use 246 screws, and you want to use the metal plates instead of the D-shaped plates, you got the extra screws for them. So that's what it's for. So hang on to them just in case you decide to switch things around. Make it feel like a new set of pedals when you go from the flat face to the D-shaped. You know, it just keeps getting better. On the adjustments, oh, and then also, get sidetracked here, you get one of the cables. This is to hook your pedals up directly to your Fanatec Clubsport wheel. And you get a nice braided, you know, printer type connector here to USB cable. Nice braid. Doesn't look like it's the tangle free stuff where it's not going to tangle all up on you. And they actually recommend you use this cable for these V3s as opposed to your V2 or V1 cables. I'm not sure. I mean, it doesn't look like it's USB 3.0, so I'm not really sure the difference in them, but either way, doesn't matter. Use it. I'll use it. Set that aside. Now on these D pedals, you got two adjustments. So think of when you're putting them on here. Spin this around. I'll just show you on the brake itself. Get it in camera. So you can of course set it on this first one, which brings the pedal face back more, or you can put it on this one, which is going to put your pedal face a little bit more forward. All right, so as you know, you look at the brake, you can see how I did it there. Get this in good picture here so you can see them both at the same time. I use the back one, so I want my pedal face a little bit more forward so I can heel toe it a lot better. So I like that setup a lot more. Actually, on the pedals, you'll notice that you can't even use the front one. You can use the bottom two, but not the top, because this center block there, and the light, this one here, you have to use that to hold the motor on. So you still got to reinstall that back, and that is just sticks out just enough to hit this to keep you free. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I bet you can use the front one on these. You just need to flip you just be sure that you flip this block around with the thin side at the top and the thick side at the bottom. So I didn't think of it. Of course, I didn't care to have them on the front face anyway, on the front slots rather. So it wasn't a big deal. But yeah, just make sure you flip this around where you got the thin side on top, so you'll have enough room to put your screws through it. Well, you have enough room for these screws not to be hitting it at the top half. So that makes sense. Hopefully it does. All right, so what else on this pedal set? So you got 12 times the resolution on the throttle, 4 times the resolution on the brake over the version 2s, the V2s. Now I'm coming from a V1 to a V3. There wasn't a big enough upgrade for me to go to a V2. I really was hoping, I was really wanting to have this cam clutch set up on there. It just feels a little bit more natural, and I'm glad I'm getting it now in version 3s. But I was really happy with my version 1s, so I waited. Luckily I waited, because now I got the version 3s, and they look beautiful. Love the the Darth Vader look, or Batman look. You know, with the all black and the red anodized screws on here. Even on the sides, ran out red anodized screws. A lot of attention to detail. There's the back of it. Cam, of course, is red anodized. Your adjuster for your brake, red anodized. So nice. And of course, you had the stock springs were red. I noticed, of course, I switched them out to the heavier ones. New Hall sensors on the clutch and the throttle. I'm hoping with the 4 times better resolution on the brake that I'm going to be able to modulate my brake even better than I was doing on the version 1s. Haven't used the version 2, so I couldn't say if that was even any better with the hydraulic clutch on there. These actually ordered the clutch, or I'm sorry, I actually ordered the damper kit for them. They didn't come in yet. The damper kit didn't come in, so I'll review that on here and the feel that I get from those at a later date. So right now we'll just go with what I got. But you know, when I have the version 1s, and I recently upgraded my version 1s to have the brass bushings, the longer pin that goes into the cylinder here. Of course, this is a completely different setup on the version 3s, but it gives you more resistance. And I also get this turned around in here. See this pin right here? Well, on the version 1s and 2s, you have a hole down here to where you can have less resistance and anchor it down here. On the version 2s, they already came pre-installed on the second notch, but if that was too strong for you, you could move it down. Well, on my version 1s, I didn't even realize I had them on the first one, but I went ahead and upped them to the second one to get a harder brake. Supposedly more like a GT3 setup. Haven't drove in GT cars, so not sure. And I put the longer pin in there, and it made it extremely hard. Actually, a little bit too hard for my liking. I could barely, even with your foot, it was like pushing against a wall. And about a 1/4 of an inch of travel. No, it was more than that. Maybe 3/8 of an inch of travel before he went full lockup. And I actually turned my resistance down on my pedal deck pretty low, because I like to not lock up the brakes too soon, make it feel more like a real real break. So this one actually doesn't have, you'll notice that it does not have little dial on here. It's actually all on your board, which for me and yourself may appreciate this, but it's a pain in the butt to crawl underneath your rig to reach that knob and adjust it just where you like it, and then get back up into your seat and then start pushing on it to see how you like it. That's a pain. So now that they put this control on your wheel, way better. Love that. So looking forward to that. I'll adjust these out. Haven't upgraded these yet to the new firmware and drivers. They recommend that you update them before you start using them. So let's get on with the rest. Like I said, it comes with the brass bushings. The brake here, this is just a knob. You just literally just turn it. Well, my hand's gonna be in the way of the camera, but you just turn it on down. Get in there to wherever you want it. You know, check to see how much resistance. Let me spin it on down to how it comes from the factory. Could use a little Benny Hill cartoon or sound off right here. So it comes down, it comes to the softest setting. And it just takes a second here to do, a couple seconds to do rather. And beware that it says to, and it says it in the manual. So you see where you see that white line? Get it focused in there. That big solid white line. You're not supposed to go past that at the softest setting. And then just the opposite on the hardest settings. There's going to be another one of those white lines right there. Get it there. Down in here. So when you extend it all the way out, you're not supposed to go all the way down to that. So just stick to the lines. Number one being the softest, and then it's like 5.5 being the hardest. But now you can see the travel quite a bit more before it gets real hard. So that's a lot more travel. Pretty soft considering what I had at full hard. So yeah, I like this adjustment. Pretty easy. Let me adjust it out real quick. Back to the hardest setting. And this has got some tension on it. It's not like it's real easy to unscrew. It's not, you know, I was a little concerned that, you know, this thing will start working its way down with use of the pedal and stuff. But I don't feel that's a concern anymore. After playing with this, it doesn't lightly screw in. It's got some resistance to it, so let's load it. That's getting a lot harder up there. And that was halfway. That was on 2.5. This is on 3.5. Let's go all the way up to 5.5. Ooh, wearing my fingers out here. Where are we at? 5.5. I'm gonna spin it back to just that half line. A lot less distance, as you can see. Yeah. Bring it up there, you can see the numbers maybe. Maybe not. So, alright, you notice that I had this flipped over. I was a little, when I was first doing this flip of these D-phase pedals, you actually got to flip this motor upside down so you can get the screws in here. And so you can see these. But these screws, it's very, let's turn on my light here. So those screws right in here are very hard to get in. I mean, you know, you basically got to just barely stick the screw into there, put your little cap nut on there, work it in from the outside. You got enough room for a wrench. You definitely have enough room to do it all, but it is tight and it's a little bit more time consuming to switch off the top one with this extender as opposed to the rest of them. So just beware. You are going to want to probably unbolt these from your rig if you haven't bolted down to mess with this, just so you can set it up somewhere where you can see things better. But alright, so what else about these? Really big 90 kg load cell in here, so they're not supposed to wear out. No need to order an extra one. I love the housing, this big block that it's in. It's pretty damn cool. I didn't take it apart. I don't really want to mess with that, but yeah, you'll see that it already has threaded holes up here. This is for when you're going to add the damper kit to it. Really looking forward to having that damper kit, and you can actually adjust it to make this even harder as well, feel more dampening force rather, or less, depending on what you like. And they have one for the throttle as well, which I'm not so sure how I'm going to care for that on the throttle, because it's not like you have a damping or a damper feel on your street car as a throttle. So I'm interested to see how that's going to work out. But you do have this motor on here, which, you know, you don't have a vibrating motor on your throttle in your car, but certain games are taking this in effect. Actually, Project Cars has already updated their game. Look on my website, tjrsim.com, and I think it was 3.0 update was just last week, and they already updated to take in effect of this motor. So it's going to help you determine when your back wheels are spinning up, and so you can feel it through your foot, because it's really hard when you're driving a sim. You know, your steering wheel actually you'll feel the vibration. A lot of games will program a little bit of vibration of the wheel spinning up on your wheel, but your wheel's doing so much already, it's hard to pick up that cue, you know, and you're really just using your eyesight of seeing your car stepping out. So this is just another cue, having the vibrating motor start spinning up when your back wheels are cutting loose on you. So interested in trying that out for sure. I think that's going to be a lot of fun to play with. Probably the first game I'll check out will be Project Cars to see that, and of course I'll test other games too, instead of course iRacing and all that, to see who else is jumping in on that and programming for it. So Razer as well, all my favorites, R Factor 2, Dirt Rally, all them games. So anyway, see, what else can I say about these? I think I covered most of it. I actually, in my other videos, I covered how to install, like I said, the throttle and the clutch spring. So easy. You know what, I'll go over an overview of that real quick if you didn't see that. But check out those videos if you want to see in depth of how to do it. But all you essentially do is remove, for the clutch one, remove these two screws, slide this up, flip this cam down, and that'll make this whole assembly come up, and you'll have enough room in there. Just the spring will drop out, put your other spring on there, flip the of course align your rod up into this bottom block. Here, align your rod up into the bottom block when you're putting it back together. There's no tension on it, so pretty easy to do. Then you just flip your cam back up. You got the tension, snaps into place, and lower this down, put your screws in, you're done. Pretty dang easy. You can adjust if you want to just adjust your throw on your stock clutch ahead of time before switching out to heavier duty spring. You can. I tell you, it's not a huge, I mean, it's a difference going to the heavier spring from the lighter one, but it's not this leaps and bound difference. You know, it does have more resistance for sure before it pushes over on that cam. But beware, if you do start adjusting this nut, you can see where this rod right here bottoms out on this polyurethane block. Hopefully we're picking that little block up in the camera. Get out my light again. So that little block, maybe that'll work. There we go. So that block right there, that rod bottoms out on it, right? So see that bottoms out on there. Well, as you adjust this farther down to get some tension, which you only have so much thread here on this rod anyway, you get to where this doesn't ever bottom out on this polyurethane block here. So you start to lose that cam feel. So I would suggest just, if you don't like the stiffness of the clutch from the get-go, to go ahead and switch over to the heavier spring. Definitely feels heavier, and it's so freaking easy. It's so easy just to switch this off. It's almost silly. So they did a real good job on putting some forethought into this, some design. You know, I'm a design engineer by trade myself, so this is, you know, design intent, as I would say. So I like it. I like it a lot. Same thing with the throttle. Sorry, excuse me. The throttle, pretty easy. See these two screws right here? You unscrew those. This cap comes off, and then you just grab this block, pull it forward, and if you did already adjust your spring right here down more, which again you only have so many threads to play with, it's about a 1/2 inch of threads that you can roll this down and tighten it up. Go ahead and loosen it all the way back up to the top nut here, and so it'll relieve some of the tension when you pull it back. But then just pull it back, pull it up, slide it off, put your new spring on, reverse it, and you're done. So also, if I didn't mention it already, you does come with a bronze bushing on this one to begin with. So that's my first look, quick look at the quick, not so quick look at the Clubsport V3 pedals. I can't wait to go hook them up to my rig, update the software, and get them going. This is a setup I think I'm going to be happy with the D-face pedals and the big metal face. Now these, just a quick note, I've only seen a couple videos on these V3s, but someone thought this was like maybe tape or something. These are anodized pedals, and this is a machined edge, and that's it. So pretty easy. Now this thing here is just a sticker. The Fanatec logo, that's just a sticker. That's a sticker. The rest of this is not a sticker. It's machined. Same in here. It's all machined. So very nice detail to it. I mean, they even machined out where the side screws are going in. So yeah, they spent some time on it, thought about it, add some cues. I mean, if you're like me, most of us are going to throw it underneath your desk, or you're going to hook it up to your rig. You're not really going to see nothing but the front face. But when you pull them out to clean them and stuff, you get to appreciate it. So that's it for the first look. I will be doing some more review on this and checking out as far as when I get my dampening kit. I'll go back over that, show the install of how to install the dampening kit, as well as my feedback on it. I may actually adjust this pedal face for the clutch a little bit forward to match this one. It is definitely off, but I wanted to try it out that way just to see how I liked it. So we'll see. I'll get back to you. I almost forgot about showing you the connectors. I'll splice this in my video somewhere, but it's got a nice setup back here. It's covered up. Of course, if you wondered if these bolt down, the bolt down is exactly the same to a pedal deck as your version 1 and 2s, but now it has this nice cover over it, gas brake and clutch, and nice you know, phone type, or was it RJ plugs on there. Of course, here on the side you got your power, and then your USB power one, which is going to go directly to your PC, so you get higher bits of resolution, or the bottom one that'll go straight to your wheel, your Fanatec wheel. And then on the other side, you got your handbrake. So if you're lacking some USBs, or you don't have to, well, actually my handbrake that I use, I have it hooked directly to my PC, but I have the little, what is it called, the little dongle that Fanatec has that you can use to use your shifter with directly to the PC, or your handbrake. So I actually have it with my handbrake, and then my shifter's connected to my wheel. But now I don't even have to use that. I could actually just plug it straight into the pedals themselves. So that's pretty cool, especially if you're new to Fanatec and you don't already have a handbrake. Plug them straight into the pedal deck. So pretty nice. And like I said, they got better connectors here. The wiring and stuff actually seems a lot better, a little bit more controlled. They got these little tabs here holding everything together, keeping it, you know, as much as possible out of your way. Of course, your feet are on the other side. It's not like you're really gonna hit anything. I know sometimes in the past they got, you know, slightly criticized, or people will criticize that, hey, you got all these exposed wires and stuff, you should probably add a pedal plate over it and stuff. But this seems to be doing the job just fine. You got some clips to hold the wires, and it's not like you really see them, they're underneath everything. So I like that. Seems to be good. All right, let's get on to the next. So leave me some comments in the video. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. Subscribe, don't forget to subscribe. It does help me. It's like giving me a tip by subscribing and hitting the like button. Lets everybody else know that, hey, this is a pretty cool video. Let's check it out. And share if you care. That's it for now. We'll come back with some more on Fanatec. Check out my other videos as well, describing some assembly of the pedal faces and all that, and the clutch and throttle. So that's it. I'm out. Hope you enjoyed it.